So how about that ending to Raw with Sting and Randy taking on the Authority?
Oh man, that was like, I felt like a kid again. I was never been so happy.
I marked out. I won't lie.
Yeah, no, same thing. Like I was like, I yelled when I like, oh my god, like freaking out when like he turned up out of nowhere.
Were you actually expecting him to be in the ring when the lights came on, or were you expecting it to just be a vignette or him, I don't know, on the roof of a, with a hawk or something?
Um, with the way the authority was surrounding the ring, I was like, I had a feeling there was a chance he could have been coming. He could have been involved. Like I read about like Sting was going to be in the building, but I wasn't sure how they were going to do it. But when you see them surrounding the ring and slowly coming up, it was like, okay, what's going to happen? Then you hear the crows,
Crow,
right?
yeah, and the lights go out.
So I would have thought it would have been like maybe him like running out or like him turning up behind Rollins or behind the guys on the ramp,
Yeah,
but not
yeah.
in the ring. Like that was perfect. That
That's
was
kind of what I
classic
thought
Sting.
too. I'm like, oh, he's gonna be at the ramp again, and sort
Yeah,
of maybe get their attention, and Randy would skimp out or catch one of them with an RKO.
yeah, yeah.
But when he was in the ring holding the bat, I always felt like a kid. It felt like 96, 97 again,
Yeah.
like when he would come, and it was just so great. Like even
I'm
with
curious
that,
how did have you read anything yet on how they pulled that off? Like, did he do like the cable down, or did he
no,
just
I
come
don't
up
think
from
it was a
underneath
kid. I
the
think a
ring?
lot of
Or
people think he's underneath the ring. Some of the stuff that I read was folks thinking that he was under there after the brace during the brace skit.
oh, okay,
'Cause I
yeah,
think
because the
Braves was
arena
right
goes the arena goes black and the
black,
video plays.
and I
Yeah,
think
that
he
would
was right
work.
before that, so that would make sense. I don't know if they would have risked him coming through the crowd or down the ramp and then risk falling or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure. I always wonder how they do that. I don't think they really have that trap door. I think he would have had to been under there,
No, I think
maybe
that the
during the
trap
break.
door and even the cables, like there's been so much issues with that
Yeah.
back in the day,
Yeah,
right?
so
So,
that's probably what happened. I think he was probably just under there for a segment, and then that was it. Got his cue, but
mhm.
he looked great. He looked great physically too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even like compared to seeing him recently on TNA, like he looks like he's in a lot better shape for this.
Mm,
Like Reese, I seen like a clip of him versus Jarrett in 2006. That's how he looks right now.
yeah,
It's really impressive considering his age.
didn't get much air on that Stinger splash, but other than that, I thought it was. I was actually having a great time. The whole segment was done so well. Like when the lights go on, Sting is dead set looking at Triple H. Randy Orton is looking at him like, what the
Yeah,
hell is he doing here? And
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
they just go right into it. Him attacking Seth and the boys with the chair, and Sting going at J&J with the and Kane with the bat. It was great.
Yeah,
I thought it
yeah.
was great
It was
overall.
funny. I would think we were both on Twitter when that was happening, and I think a couple people were saying, "Oh, like I wonder if Randy's all of a sudden gonna RKO Sting or
No,
something like that."
no,
But I don't know. I couldn't see that happening.
no. And how did you feel about? I thought it was great, especially the way Triple H was selling it, and Steph looked like she was like in disbelief at what was going on. I like how Sting just chucked the jacket at Triple H. He kind of he gets even more furious, but
Yeah,
then he does a Scorpion Death Drop on was it Noble, I think. I forget, but then
yeah.
one of the two, and then
Mhm.
Randy Orton nails the RKO like that. That was a sweet ending. Really got the crowd amped.
Absolutely.
Brought Des Moines to their feet.
Yeah. But even then, the cool thing was that post network segment that they had there,
Mm.
where they finally, with
Let him talk.
yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about that? Like it was short and sweet, but at least it was better than like a voice altered.
Yeah, I know, like the promo. I know
Yeah.
for me, in our last podcast to do with Sting, our analysis, I was talking about how I hated him talking when during his run as the Crow Sting, but I actually enjoyed this. Just the passion, and he really is great on the mic, but he was just so
Absolutely.
emphatic with why he's there, and he really
Mm.
had the crowd, I think, eating out of his hands. And you look over at Randy, and you could tell like there was that part of Randy that was tuning back to when he was in his early 20s, I guess, or
Mhm.
late teens, watching Crow Sting. Also, you could tell
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he
yeah.
was.
No, he was a fan. He's a
He
fan.
was
Like
a fan, like,
he geeked out hard
Yeah,
there. Like
you could see it on his
absolutely.
face. Even he was happy to be able
Yeah.
to share the ring with Sting. I think more was supposed to be done because Sting gives the mic back to the one of the guys outside, and Michael Cole goes to get the mic. So I wonder if he was supposed to be more that we didn't get. But if you go back and watch it, you'll see. But
No, I didn't catch
overall,
that.
yeah, overall though, I thought it was great. I'm hoping now that match really delivers. Though I think the energy will be a lot better. But they gotta have him keep coming out for a few weeks because we need more of that. That was just
Oh no, absolutely.
if there's not gonna be more of that after WrestleMania, which I doubt there will be. Like I want to just see that for the next 2 weeks. Actually, no, the next show is next week. That's the last.
Yep, next
that's
week is the last
show,
one.
right?
Yeah.
So I hope on Monday we get one more just crazy face off with him and Triple H.
Yeah, even like an actual face off in the middle of the ring, even if there's like a table between them or something. Like you know what I mean. I want to hear more from Sting because even when you go back to that, I know we're going to talk about it. That video segment that they did that didn't sound like Sting and it sounded like it could have been somebody else. That a lot of really cool points were made in that. It's like he was like the only guy from WCW that didn't go over to WWE and like you know what I mean how he really wanted WCW to succeed and stuff like that. And I think he wasn't he like the one in the last match with Booker,
him and Flair were the last.
Was it him
match
and Flair in the very last match?
Nitro,
Yeah. Yeah. So
true.
it's I would love to see that kind of like you know what I mean all that emotion, all that history brought up like in person, face to face between them to truly sell it, right? So
so let's talk about that promo. I thought the promo, well, I just showed you before we started recording the pitch corrected version.
Yeah.
Didn't really understand why they aired the one that they did.
I got so angry once
with
I
people
started
wondering
hearing that.
who was even on, who that even was. Like
Yeah.
it was bad enough that we had a few appearances where they got random people to play Sting, not play Sting. Like they're supposed to be fake Stings, but
Yeah.
and then having him, do vignettes over the Titantron.
Yeah, or
I think
accept.
I think this promo was starting to become, starting to get people to even be more disinterested with that not even sounding like him.
Yeah, like it was, and it was really terrible because, like I said, the context and the words it was amazing. Like especially if you were a fan growing up on wrestling with Sting, watching him in WCW, understanding all the tension, understanding the fact when Invasion Angle happened, you're waiting to hope Sting shows up and he doesn't.
How do you feel about them having him say that he failed though? Do you think that was good from a storyline standpoint, or do you think that was a way of Vince just, getting that dig into WCW?
I think that was a little extra dig because even towards the end when WCW was falling apart, Sting wasn't a marquee guy. Like he was in some really weird bookings. Well, his like I think he had
like
a
the
feud
New Blood
with
stuff and all that. The New Blood stuff.
Yeah. Then he had I remember the thing with Vampiro or whatever. Like he wasn't really like he wasn't really the big guy selling tickets or anything
purgatory.
like that.
Yeah,
and even then, like it's the facts are out there now that who are the real guys behind murdering WCW.
Vince Russo's one.
Vince Russo, Half the Click, Eric Bischoff. It's the
But
list goes on.
I'm
right?
glad I turned it around with this recent Raw. That really got me amped. I can't think of a last time that I really saw the ending of Raw where I was just really tuned in and really excited.
No, it's true, and they haven't had that in a good while. Like.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'll give them some credit. I think the last time Sting came out and what was it?
When he pointed the bat.
No, or the match with where
to Cena to
Bingo. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
he
came out with the bat, didn't he? And he
Yeah,
pointed at them.
yeah. That's the one. But before that, there hasn't been there's been a big gap where Monday Night Raw ended and you're itching to be able to watch the next event. Like I remember when Attitude Era. That happened every single week. Like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next?
And Nitro was good for that because Nitro would always end their Nitros with the climax of the ending hasn't even happened yet. It's like we gotta go.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What the hell happened? This is before you could just go online and download it. So let me ask you this: so on Monday, this coming Monday is going to be the go home show.
Yep.
And we talked about this before. Traditionally, the person that gets the upper hand on the go-home show loses at the pay-per-view. So we know that Sting is most likely going to go over on WrestleMania, or at least we can assume he will be. Do you think Monday's go-home show is going to end with Triple H really getting the upper hand on him? Because they can't have Sting being, leaving Triple H in a frenzy every single week. He's had the upper hand every single week. He hasn't been left for dead yet in the ring.
Yeah.
So do you think on Monday we're gonna see Sting catch or Triple H catch Sting in a spot where he pedigrees him and Authority assists with that? Or do you think they're actually gonna make Sting look strong end to end, like he gets the upper hand again next week and wins that?
I don't know. That's a really good question because if the Authority wasn't involved in there weren't so many different storylines going on with the Authority, then I'd say maybe you can see something like that happening. But when you have guys like with the whole Kane and Kane and Big Show being in the Battle Royal, Seth and Randy, like there's so many different elements going on that I can't see all of them coming up together just for the whole Sting thing. But who knows? That's interesting, actually. Yeah, yeah. I've never even thought about that. That's the common trend, but. Yeah. Ew, that is a tough one, but personally, it would make it more interesting if Triple H got the upper hand at least once.
Yeah, he might not pedigree him. I think we'll see him maybe. Well, they can't have him hit him with a sledgehammer a week before WrestleMania because that'll be like, well, I'll Sting up and it could be.
Well, actually, that adds to the storyline. Actually,
he comes in wounded.
Yeah, imagine that adds to the storyline. These guys are two wicked storytellers in the ring. Yeah.
I think psychology wise, it's going to be great. I just hope that they're both. I know they're both, getting in shape. For Sting looked great in just a few weeks. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
And Triple H, we know, is going to be in shape. So I hope they're able to really put on a good match. I'm curious what kind of match it's going to be. It's probably, I assume, more of a brawl, and won't see much technical stuff.
Would you prefer it if it was like if there was some sort of a gimmick to the match, or
like Authority loses power?
Yeah, something along those lines.
We just saw that. We just saw that in Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. The whole reason Sting appeared.
Yeah.
And that became Dust, which we talked about
last time. I don't know, but it could have been something nice if they gave Sting that speak up earlier. Like, you know what I mean? It's been months since that whole interference at Survivor Series, and it's only now we found out that, he hates Authority because it was Authority that
there's got to be some importance, because the whole reason he's even doing this is to avenge WCW, essentially in real life, too. This is like a shoot work almost, where, he's supposed to be... is again avenging what happened with WWF putting WCW out of business. So I would hope there's something on the line, but I don't know. I guess they'd have to announce that on Monday, and then that would have to follow through with some sort of agreement. But I don't know if we're gonna get that. Maybe it's just gonna be a match, but something big's got to happen. This is Sting's first WrestleMania. It can't just be him winning and then that's it. We don't see him again other than the odd appearance. I do hope to see him after WrestleMania. I do hope he ends up in some GM role or something like that.
Absolutely. The GM role is like the most ideal thing for Sting.
The reason why I'm not sure we'll see a gimmick revolving around the Authority being put out of power is because every time we read, the back end stuff that's going on, it always seems to be that the network, not the WWE network, but USA, they always and the shareholders always seem to want the McMahon family on TV. They think that drives the ratings. So, I mean, if they do it, I think it would be temporary. I don't think they can afford to have those guys off TV, or they don't want to have Triple H and Stephanie off TV. They just, I don't know. If that was the case, then we wouldn't have seen them brought back in the power to begin with.
There has to be something. There has to be something more to it. Even if they go back to the two split shows, and you have the Authority running Raw, and then you have Sting running SmackDown or something like that.
Yeah, because SmackDown's on the come up. That could work. I just don't know if they would have Sting on a quote unquote B-level show. Even though I think SmackDown's better for wrestling, but perception, right? Raw's the big boy show. I don't think.
Yeah, that hasn't changed for years, right?
Yeah, I'm curious, but I don't know. I thought it was great. So. For those listening, let us know what you guys think. Did you think that you turned it around? We obviously have one more Raw before WrestleMania. What are your thoughts? What are you expecting? What are you expecting on the Go Home show? And what are you hoping for at the actual event when these two face off, these two legends? So like, subscribe, comment, find us on Twitter under Kayfabe6, about the same way on our YouTube channel without the space. And look forward to hearing from you guys.